What's going on, Cerulean Hero? I didn't like that. Again. I am ready for the turtle to shine. It was a little disappointing that we weren't able to get it last time. Oh, well. Try that again. But I think I, for the most part, resolved the issues with the previous stream. I don't really know why it happened, but what I was able to find out is... Yeah, ignore that. My seed was off by a lot for whatever reason, but my frame count was on, and I had to play around with some things. I had to shift around, but now I feel like it's consistent again. So I'm definitely feeling confident we'll get the turt today. And maybe more. Hopefully a lot more. Is your team in Scarlet? This is just for a casual playthrough, or are you doing anything in particular? Uh-oh, don't want to do that yet. Alright. That's my trainer ID. In the meantime, when I was trying to figure out everything that went wrong the previous stream, I also did some more testing in terms of like what I'm more likely to hit for my secret ID. And it seems like, as I was kind of guessing earlier, that I'm a little bit earlier than I used to be. So I'm going to alter my range just a little bit. Now my target frames at the intro is 1354, a couple frames earlier than what I initially thought it was, because that seems to be where I'm consistently hitting around more. So what that means is hopefully I won't have to be doing a lot of unnecessary RNGs to go through, like, process of elimination, all these secret IDs. And if that is the case, then hopefully this is my new secret ID. $39, 287, and 2766. All right. Let's start plugging in some seeds and seeing if we have a close tiny Squirtle. Oh, immediately we have one. Okay. I think we're coming back in. All right, y'all with me? I think that fixed whatever the problem was. Not that anything's happening right now anyway, because I'm just trying to troubleshoot here. Yeah, I did a little reset on my end too, and connection looks a lot better now. Thank you, Pretend Passing. Yeah, I got one per stream, and it seems like ever since I got the Charmander, there's been some weird anomalies with what seeds I'm hitting. I've done some testing with it, and I've gotten it to work sometimes, but seems like I'm encountering a similar issue right now as well. Here, let me delete that. Yeah, there we go. So I confirmed a while back that my advances in-game are pretty close, pretty spot on. So if there's any anomalies, it's with the seed, not with the advances. So I can kind of use that as a guide. I'm not seeing really anything that's very close. Let me just put in... narrow this range. Yeah, these seeds are ridiculous. These are definitely none of my targets. All right, so hope is not lost. All I need to do is try a new set of settings and a new seed, and then see what happens. Because that worked a couple times when I was going through with this. So right now, and just to double check, mono LR. Mono LR, okay, good. So that's what I was on. For whatever reason, my seed's all jacked up. So I'll just try a different setting. Mono L equals A, perhaps? Why not? And I need to reset first. All right. So from this list of seeds, let's find a new target. Okay. Relaxed male, 29,022. Alright, so mono L equals A, no held button. This is the one I'm after. Alright. Yeah, pretend passing, did you ever have an issue where with the same settings and the same calibration, sometimes you just, like, your seed would just be totally off? Because that's what's been happening lately. At the end of my last stream, so last stream, I got the Charmander, I traded it over to Leaf Green, reset the game, and then with the exact same settings, the exact same button mode, I tried for Squirtle, and all of a sudden I wasn't getting any results, no seeds, anywhere near my range. And so when I went back through testing and everything, by how much? It was like way off. It was like outside of just like regular error, like something was going wrong. Because I ended up like finding out that I would use the same settings. I would go for one target, and then when I checked it, when I uploaded the save file and looked at everything, it told me that I hit a seed that was like 1,000 milliseconds off, or I guess that's what, a second off or 10 seconds off. And then it had different settings to hit that seed. So different settings, very different timing. I didn't change anything, absolutely nothing. So that's why I'm kind of perplexed. And then this morning I was kind of going through it, and it was consistent again. Depending on which target I was going after, all the calibrations, everything worked again. There was no issue again, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But I found that if I just, you know, try for different ones and, you know, reset, sometimes it'll work. So something's, I mean, I can't tell what the issue is, but it's got to be something. And 12, 15, 10, 12, 11, 12, 11. Jolly, right? Yeah. Oh, rolls on. For around 10. Okay, let's narrow this. 800. We'll do like 1200. All right. And 70's kind of close, but that's still not very good. 1074. Okay, this is possible, but I doubt that's the one I hit. Yeah, I could ask, you know, somebody in Blissy's Discord about it. This is I'm looking at one spread that's at least possible, but I don't think that's the one I hit. It's like 4 seeds late. So I'll double check. If this doesn't end up being the case, then there's one more thing I can try. Because I found that when I removed the cartridge from the DS and I put it back in, I don't know why that would have any impact, but I feel like it does, or at least it can. Yeah, I wish it was just my user error, because then I have some kind of solution, but as far as I can tell, I'm not doing anything differently. Okay, yeah, the one that was... Oh, wait. I think we're good. Because this one is just 2 seeds early, basically on frame. So I think we're good, yeah. We're in the pocket. False alarm, I guess. So yeah, let's just hit the Squirtle now. There's nothing stopping us. Okay, now that I know that I'm in the ballpark, let's narrow this range a little bit. And now 2 seeds late, but still relatively on frame. So yeah, no, we're in this now. Whatever was going on with that first target, changing the settings fixed it. Or at least changing the target seed and the corresponding settings with it. There definitely is a lot of nonsense with the seeds in this game. Looks like I was one late that time. On seed, 1 frame late. I wish I had an alternative, but unfortunately the only way to get these starters from Kanto is to do it this way, other than breeding in RSE and hatching the eggs in this game, which I will do for some of the targets, but for these I'm going to try this. But yeah, I don't know if I'll ever do Teachy TV. I just don't need competitive mods in Gen 3 in general. Hello, Segio or Segio. It's surprisingly fun. Well, I'll believe it when I see it. How about that? Oh, I bet it does feel incredible to actually have success with it. That I have no doubt. Why can I not see? Here we go. Sometimes I'm searching for the nature and it's right in front of me. One late, on frame. Well, I'm sure if I did a bunch of TGTV, yeah, I'd get used to it. Do I want to put in all that time and effort to get there? I don't know about that. I was early. It is in fact a CRT computer monitor, yes. I can't remember what the actual model is called, but what's special about this one is it's got a very large frame around it, which I think is fun. It's like mostly frame and not very much screen. Thank you, Pocket. Yeah, you did 8 Teachy TVs. I'd be burnt out too. I'd be burnt out on life. I went through all that. I'm a lonely boy. One early now. Yes, well, the emerald thing, that's a whole other story. Emerald was intended to be a totally one-off thing. Never doing that again. Oh, nice. I wouldn't call myself an enthusiast for the CRT, but I definitely enjoy them. I have a little project that I'm working on that involves multiple black and white PVMs. It's been like on my backlog for over a year now, but when it all comes together, I think it's going to look nice. What determines my seed? The determiner for the seed is my inputs on the intro screen. So depending on when I press A, or just whatever button that blows through that dialogue, that is when my seed is locked in. And then from that point, from that seed, advances will happen, and I'm trying to shoot for a certain advance away from any particular seed. And the program I have open right now, the 10 lines, allows me to search between multiple different seeds, the stats of the Pokemon, so I can tell which seed I landed on, and then how many frames I was off as well, if I was. But I've been pretty close. I feel like I have the advances pretty dialed in for the most part, and now it's just hitting the right seed. That was it. I just landed on it. Because, yeah, it wasn't my target. Relaxed. Yep. There we go. Okay, so I landed on the target. It's not shiny, which means I have a different secret ID than I guessed. Which is okay, because all I need to do now is go back to... Where is that? Go back to this window. And so I need to choose a frame that's either one early or one late. I could go either way. I'm going to guess that I hit one early, because that's where I've been trending towards, is just earlier and earlier. So I'm going to do a quick tweak. Change the secret ID in my settings on Pokefinder. And now we just have to find another seed, find another target, and then do it again. All right. So back to this. Back to that. And let's find another target real quick, and hopefully this next one will be the shiny. Is 500 too early? I think I can hit that. I think I can do it. It is a double frame perfect manip, and yeah, every frame advance of gameplay, every 16 milliseconds is when a frame is drawn. All right, so I have another target. I think 500 is not going to be too early, but I guess we'll see. So I'm going to go back 10 lines. My new secret ID is 42533. And let's plug all this in again. Three 24/6. $26.8. All right. Looking for, what settings are we on now? We're still on mono L equals A. Mono L equals A, no held button. This is our new C timer. Oh. Wait, it's the exact same one. That's funny. And this is our target frame. So, kind of interesting. I'm using the exact same seed, but I'm trying to hit a different frame. Cool. All right. It always happened to you? Yeah, missing the secret ID. I mean, what can you do? You just got to keep grinding away, eliminating all the different options. I guess that's two ways of looking at it. You eliminate one possibility. Oh, I should have held that for longer. Let's reset that real quick. Yeah, you can either get discouraged when your target isn't shiny, or you can get excited because you've just eliminated one possibility and now you're a little bit closer to getting the shiny, which in practical terms is what you're doing. Because I'm not super way off on my secret ID frame. I know it's in a small window somewhere. So you'll get it eventually. All right, let's see if I can make this. Just barely. I really have to dial in for that one. At least it's efficient. It'll really raise the stakes, I think. What's my target? 500? Yeah, we don't need that. 600. 400. And one frame, or one seed late, a couple frames early. What did I miss? How about you miss me with that? Ain't no way I'm doing the Zigzagoon and Wally's Ralts. I know it's possible. I mean, theoretically. Hey! Alright. Well, that feels nice after all the random stuff that's gotten in the way. So we now officially have... Let me just add that. We now officially have all 3 starters. But we don't just need 1 of each. We need 3 of each. 3 for Charmander. 3 for Squirtle. And 4 for Bulbasaur. Because Venusaur has a female version that is different form. So 4 Bulbasaur. So we still have a lot to go. However, as I'm sure you all can tell, I'm pretty dialed in now. You know, I'm getting these a lot faster than I used to. So I think... Ah, dang it. I thought I could outspeed. It doesn't matter. So yeah, let's see. We've been at this for a little less than an hour, and most of that was BS that I didn't know what was going on. Oh, I don't need to go in there. So let's get at least 1 more shiny today, at least. And, you know, if I don't encounter any more random issues with the seed, perhaps we could get even more than that. Of course, that depends on whether or not I can lock in and use my new skills. Just WXN. So my plan for the starters in Kanto is to do all of them at the start of the game and then just reset the files over and over again. For most other Pokemon, I will not need to worry about that. The reason I went with this is because it would be a pain either way to get the starters. Like if I bred for them in Emerald, let's say, and then I transferred over the eggs, that would definitely work. And so I thought it would be more interesting and also a little bit more convenient to just reduce the number that I was going to breed in the future by doing this. Now in the long run, that may not be actually the most efficient thing, especially because I have to kind of rule out my secret ID, which one I landed on. If I end up, you know, if I never hit it first try, or I never get the secret ID right the first try, then yeah, over time, that's going to take a little bit longer. But yeah, I'm just kind of figuring it out as I go along. I mean, I have a plan, but you never really know how things are going to work out until you actually give it a go. Oh, okay, well. Because like for the Hoenn starters, I will have no issue breeding for those, even though they're actually another crit. Even though they're actually probably a lot easier to RNG at the start of the game. But I just don't want to, you know, start too many files like that. And as you'll see, for some Pokemon in particular, I will have to do a lot of different files for Emerald. Okay, very nice. Do we have time for this? No, we do not. So yeah, in the long run, I will be creating a lot of different files in Hoenn, meaning I can get a lot of the starters that way. But I will breed for some of them, especially because the Torchic line has a female and male form for each Pokemon, not just the Blaziken, but also the Torchic and the Combusken. All right, I'm going to trade over the Squirtle to Leaf Green real quick. I don't have any way of recording the video on screen, so I'll show y'all in a second. Got my two SPs with your classic aftermarket grade link cable. All right. All right, let's knock out another one. I say we go back to our roots, go back to Bulbasaur, and then Charmander and Squirtle again. I absolutely will be manipulating trainer IDs for this project, just not in Fire Red and Leaf Green, because I don't know if you caught my latest video about the way Pokemon Emeralds works, but it's very similar in that, you know, for all intents and purposes, you can't really choose what your trainer ID and secret ID is. So that means you have to start a file, figure out what you got, which is what I'm doing here, and then kind of going from there. Oh, did you miss it? Pretend passing? Yeah, you know, it was the same. It was weird because I used the exact same seed, but it was a different frame. And apparently that was enough. I just got it like my second rip. Okay, one sec. Get that on screen here. There we go. Ah, shoot. I keep hitting those bumpers. Yeah, I have a very rudimentary understanding of XOR, but I'm not super fluent in computer stuff, so I just know what I need to know. That felt late. I'm gonna do that again. There's really no point in going with an ID that I don't feel great about. I also didn't like that one very much, but if I've been skewing early, let's go with it. That could have been on target. Actually, you know what? No, we're not going to go with it. I will accept nothing but perfection. Okay, I like that one a little bit better. So we'll go with that one. All right. Bulbasaur number 2 of 4. A little depressing to think about, but not depressing if you have confidence that you can do it. All right. Let's get some new seeds. Well, first, what secret ID could I have? Let's see. All right, so 37, 38. If I assume that I hit 1354 frames away, my secret ID is 13332. And we'll use the same settings from last time and see if anything weird happens. 17's a little later than I want. Another one that's really fast, 525 advances after the seed, so we've established that it's possible with that Squirtle I just did. Just need to really dial in when I do it. Crash, 23, 20, 22. $17, 6, 6. Got our target, settings in place. Mono L equals A press, no held button. My new seed timing. My new frame, which is actually a little bit longer than the other one. We're ready. As a non-ace user, yeah. I probably won't have to dig into it too much. Alright, let's see if there's any shenanigans afoot. Can I just do it again? No random issues. Maybe not. I don't know about that. Alright. Let me test something real quick. I'm gonna take the cartridge out of the DS. Put it back in. And see if that does anything. And here's why I'm thinking like that. The reason I feel that has something to do with it is because that's exactly what happened after I got the Charmander. I took the cartridge out, put it in my Game Boy SP so I could make the trade, put it back in. Nothing else has changed other than the seed that I'm going after. And it was at that point that my calibration was all off and I couldn't hit my target. So maybe there's something to removing the cartridge or booting up the system in a certain way. I have no idea, but worth a try. Because otherwise I'll just have to find a new seed. No results. Yep. No results. All right. So we'll do the same thing we did at the top of the stream. We'll just change our settings, find a new seed, and go again. So we were, let me just go ahead and reset that. So we were on mono and L equals A. Let's go to stereo L and R. Why not? All right, and now we just need to find a new target. $300, yeah, we can't hit that. No shot. $1,500, a little bit too long for my liking. $42 frames. $12.29. Let's do that one. I'm sick of looking. And bold is a good nature for Bulbasaur, right? Two 10-17. $29,923. Stereo LR A button held none. And let's see if shenanigans are once again afoot or not. 12, 28. Damn, okay. We're good now. I was on seed 1 frame early. So once again, whatever BS is inflicting my little goal here, switching the settings seems to help. One seed early, 1 frame late. On frame, but 1 seed early. The story behind my YouTube name. Well, originally, me and my brother used to watch Avatar: The Last Airbender quite a bit, especially when it would come on TV. And there were certain episodes that would be played over and over again. One of them was The Great Divide, of course, if you know the whole controversy behind that one. But also, a lot of the Season 1 episodes would come on pretty frequently. And one of them was the first episode where Aang and the gang meet King Boomy. And he has one of these one-off little jokes where Sokka's asking them to leave when they're trapped in crystal. And Sokka's like, let us leave. And then Boomy's like, let us leave? And then he like chomps on a lettuce leaf. So that was like a little inside joke between me and my siblings for a little while. So that's part of the reason why. I don't know, I just feel like I like lettuce. Doesn't everyone else, you know? Oh, I was really off, really early on that one. Yeah, it was closely followed by, or Secret Tunnel was the second choice for the channel name, but didn't end up making the cut. First try, finally! We finally got... We didn't have to calibrate this time. Awesome. That makes me happy. Alright. We are halfway done with Bulbasaur. And maybe a third of the way done with the starters in general. Oh yeah, I wonder, I don't know if they could have made that pun in German. That's, interesting. What'd I tell you, y'all? We're on a roll. If we just didn't have to deal with the random BS, where my seed just doesn't work for some reason, we'd be rolling through these things. Should I use a potion? Oh, well, I guess I can't. Let's go for 3. I honestly think we can get 3. I'd say I got at least another, you know, like 45 minutes, hour in me. We can get another 2. We can go for 4 in one stream. What other manips are planned? Well, I'm going to do quite a few wild RNGs in Fire Red and Leaf Green as well. And just so you know, the whole starter thing is kind of like an added layer of difficulty because with each new starter, I have to not only do the double frame perfect manip, but I have to deduce what my secret ID was. This is the very first time where the secret ID I guessed I hit, I actually hit on the first try, so I didn't have to calibrate. So that's an added layer and kind of like draws this part out a little bit. But when I finally start playing one singular file where I know the secret ID consistently, I won't need to mess with that. So I'll be doing quite a few wild RNGs. I don't think that's going to be too crazy. There's some that I can't RNG in this game because I want them in a Pokeball. Like anything from the Safari Zone, I'll have to breed so that I can get it in the ball that I want. There's a couple other examples of that. Also the traded Pokemon, so like the Farfetch'd, the Chiding, I can't RNG that, I have to breed it. Or I can't do it in the wild or do it from the trade. Four to 5 hours for a Rattata? Oh no. I don't know if those are the vibes I want to be putting on the rest of these. You know, again, I think that as I've gone, things have been going a little bit more smoothly. So I think I'm dialing in a little bit. I'm getting the timings right. My calibration, I think, is rock solid now. It's been translating really well between seeds and between frames. So as long as I stay true to that and nothing drastic happens, I think we're in a good spot. I think I can get the wilds in less than 4 to 5 hours, would be my hope. The only thing I'm concerned about is I obviously don't have as much practice with doing the wild encounters. Not that it's like too different or anything, but I think I've only hit one test before where I like RNG'd like a shiny Mankey. You did all the bugs in Viridian? So like not just the base forms, but the whole line of each? Yeah, that's good work. For 6 targets, still 8 hours. I would hope I could go a little bit faster than that, but we will see. Trade in progress. Okay, we get it. You're saving. All right. Do number 3 for the day. Except, I have a feeling that my next attempt, the seed calibration is going to be off again. But we'll see. Oh, but you had a 2-hour break, okay. That's good, because if it was 8 hours of constant attempts, I might have to rethink some things. I mean, I definitely won't RNG, wild RNG every Pokemon in Kanto. Some of them I will breed for. Even though I have the option to do a wild RNG. Let's get this guy. Right timer open. Ah, dang it. I'm all jacked up after getting my second shiny today. That one also felt pretty good. The settings we're going for, L and R. Can't remember because now we're changing it like every run. Alright, Bulbasaur number 2. Alright, let me run to the restroom real quick, then we'll get to it. All right, sorry about that. My audio was bugging out for a moment. Okay. Oh. Yeah, y'all can still hear me, right? What happened to the DS? It's weird. Yeah, the DS is out now. If I... Let's just try this. That'll do. Okay. Cool. All right, nothing will stop us from shiny number 3. I mean, I'm not going to say nothing, but... Let's just go for it. All right, so our new ID... Number 5339. All right, let's get a new target seed. And double checking stereo L equals R. Yep. Don't want you. War 59. You know what? Let's just see if that's even possible to hit. Let's type in 459. I'm just gonna like rip this real quick. See if I can actually physically hit that. No, I can't. Anything sub 500 is too fast. All right, good to know. Oh, but the next one is 756, which is very ideal. Relaxed. 11, 20, 15, 15. $360. Oh, no target. I reset the page, right? Relaxed mail. Yep. Oh, wait. I didn't change the... Never mind, false alarm. This is not right. I have to change the ID. Wait. Did I even put that in? 45. That's my new ID, right? Yeah, 45339. Okay. Let's get another seed. $1,100 flat, let's do that. Or a Jolly Mander. $21, $28, $20. $31, $15, $21. Okay. Now we're cooking. Stereo LR. Press A. Held button none. New seed. New frames. And we're ready. Fingers crossed for no BS. Okay. Really early on the seed, but pretty close to the frame. It was one seed late and one frame early. Looks like, though, we didn't have to deal with the random BS. So we're still on track now. My seed is skewing pretty late, though. Or all over the place, really. Because actually, I think, wasn't I early just now? Can't remember. It's all a blur. Yeah, once you get a taste for the collectathon, it just gets worse and worse. I, too, just started with simple, base forms and didn't really account for gender differences or anything smaller. On seed, one frame late. But of course, once you build that living dex, then it doesn't quite fill the void. And then you have to go for a more elaborate one, and it just gets worse and worse until you end up doing something like this. 1 seed late, 1 frame early. I first got into it because I wanted shiny Pokemon in my games and did not want to spend my entire life shiny hunting in the traditional sense. I'm pretty sure my first ever successful RNG manip was a shiny Ho-Oh in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, or in Heart Gold specifically. And after that, I just caught the bug. Dang, on seed 2 frames late. That did feel kind of late. So I just kept going from there. And, you know, I don't know if you picked up on this, but I am kind of a perfectionist when it comes to the way that I play these games and being very thorough and everything. So being able to RNG manip shinies that would otherwise take years off my life, that was very appealing to me. So yeah, I got into Gen 4 first. That was my very first RNG experience. Pretty accessible for beginners. And then I got well into Gen 3. Tore Ruby and Sapphire apart. And Emerald as well. And didn't do much of Fire Red and Leaf Green until now. Because of course, you know, look at all these extra hoops you have to jump through. Okay. On seed 1 frame late. I'm very thankful that I'm not a gambling addict, where real money is involved. You could argue very strongly that I have an addictive gambling personality, so to speak, but it's channeled into this, not actual money. I've hit that one before. 1 seed late, 1 frame early. I think when I catch the base form, when I have the actual Pokemon that I intend to add to the living dex, that's when I'm going to count it as owning it or having it. So even though one of the Bulbasaurs is not evolved, it's still going to count towards the total as of right now. So probably at some point in the challenge, after I catch most of the Mons, I will have to do some level grinding, or more than likely rare candy duplications, which will get the levels up and get the evolutions that I need. But at that point, I will have already kind of counted them towards the total. Once again, on seed 1 frame late. Who are you? Huh, I could have been late. Could have been... Yeah, we'll just ignore that one. Looks like I'm dancing around it. Am I 2 frames late there? Or 2 seeds late? Hmm. Nope. Whoops. Whoop. All right, I'm feeling good about this one. That felt a little late. I'm a lonely boy. One seed late, 1 frame late. It's jolly. It is potentially our target. Eureka, yep. That was our target. Which means we need to get another one rolling here. So if my secret ID is not this, let's try 1 frame early. 33494. And let's find a new target seed. Or 19, still too fast. $100? Not quite. Sheesh, we are going through these seeds. Nothing in sight. I think the closest I found is 1600. There's 1500. Still not quite what we're looking for. $465. No, I don't think I can do it. And anything sub 500 is just too fast. Sheesh, we've been through 50 seeds now. 50 seeds and counting. Okay, 1200, we'll go with that one. And it has a perfect attack stat. Not super helpful in Gen 3, or at least... Actually, no, because Belly Drum Zard is a thing. So maybe that actually would be helpful at some point. Okay. Get this guy plugged in. I've gone back and forth on Cute Charm. I do think it would kind of trivialize all of Gen 4 and 2. So, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to use it. And I don't really need to anyway. Because Gen 4 is a relatively manageable game to RNG in. But it is tempting. It's very tempting to just use Cute Charm and get like a billion shinies. If you go into the project spreadsheet and check out the rules, part of the spirit of the challenge is to get a bunch of unique Pokemon, like not duplicates or anything, and 1231-3. And with Cute Charm, I'm pretty sure it basically forces the PID to be a certain thing, and would basically make all the Cute Charm mons similar in a lot of ways, so I don't know. Of course, you're going to make me reload this. Alright, what settings are we on again? Stereo, LNR. Alright, stereo, LNR. A button, held button, none. What would be difficult about the headbutts and honey tree encounters? I know that the honey trees are tricky to get a particular Pokemon to spawn, but once the tree is shaking, like actually RNGing what Pokemon you get is straightforward. I don't know much about the headbutt encounters, though. Yeah, that... Whoa, wait a minute. That doesn't look right. Well, we'll try it again. There might be some shenanigans afoot. The headbutt encounters thoughts are based on your save file. I guess it would be tricky to get around that, but not terrible. No results. So, we have some shenanigans afoot. It's not working again. So what I'll do is, I still need to check this secret ID, but I can't go for this target anymore. Meaning, I will go back to the seed searching process, and I will just check an option with different settings. So, I was on stereo, L equals R. I can go stereo and help. Why not? And real quick, I just need to change that in the settings. All right, stereo audio, help. $42, okay. Let's try this range here. $456. Devastatingly close. $379. Also very close, but too close. $800. There we go. Going for a quirky Charmander. $10, $20, $24. $17,500, $29. All right, stereo, help button, A press, none. Stereo, help button, A press none. Ask all the questions you want. I'm happy to answer them. If anything, it helps me to contemplate the future of the project, because some of the things I really haven't thought all the way through or made a plan for. I mainly have Gen 3 and 4 in my mind's eye right now, but I have to get to everything eventually. For Sword and Shield, yes, I will be using the RNG manips for the ones that can be RNG'd, particularly the overworld spawns. And I believe you can also RNG manip the exclamation mark encounters. I believe that's possible as well. Or it's the other way around. You can manipulate the overworld spawns. Either way, yes, I will be using RNG manips. The other, probably the biggest one, would actually be the raid dens, which can be tricky to find the seeds for, but there are legitimate ways to do it without hacking into the game, so... but short answer, yes, I will be using all the manips that are available to me in Sword and Shield. There are many of them, though, that I don't have that option for. So it will be quite the grind. Generation 8 in general will be quite the grind, because most things I can't RNG. And the most RNGable game, BDSP, I'm not really going to be playing at all, except for Arceus. Okay. Wait, that's not right. No, that doesn't look good either. We're still kind of in limbo here. I'll give it one more try just to see. Because if this is giving me grief, then I might have to call it soon. Yeah, Zach, I haven't done too many Gen 5 manips, but for the most part, they're pretty manageable. I've never done a shaking spot, though. Are there a lot of exclusive encounters to the shaking spots? I'm not... Oh, I just hit it again, didn't I? Yeah, that's the exact same one I just hit. Well, at least I'm consistent. I mean, if I expand my seeds, that still doesn't make sense, does it? Nah. Not at all. So yeah, things are still afoot. Alright, gonna try my secret technique. Eject the game card. Do ritual with the game card. I'm gonna put it in my Game Boy Advance. Turn it off, take it out. All right. Did that do anything? Probably not. Let's see. I think with something like, you know, if shaking grass or shaking spots are tricky, I mean, I would probably just catch a regular one encounter and then breed for it. You know, if that's going to be faster. Yes, I will be doing Gen 7 Manips. Probably a lot of breeding as well. I have to RNG the statics though, you know, of course, like you have all the ultra beasts. That's not the same one, is it? You're joking if it is. 19.9. No, this is different. Okay, good. I thought I hit the same one 3 times in a row. What's going on? Modest. Oh. All right. No results. Okay, so things are still screwed up. Yeah, type null, if I am remembering correctly, there is a lot of external noise, a lot of NPCs and other things that make that manip pretty... So not looking forward to that one in particular. Sure, yeah, the shaking spots sound tricky, so I may just avoid them entirely in terms of getting a shiny out of them. Alright, y'all, well, I've already changed my settings once, and that didn't really fix the issue. And I could mess around with it again, but 2 shinies in one stream, personal record so far. Could have gotten 3. I really feel like I could have, especially since I hit one of my targets, but it is what it is. But I'd like to thank you all for stopping by. And if you are a football fan or American or whomever, enjoy the Super Bowl tonight. I am not super into sports in general, but I will say that I'm backing the Seahawks on this one, even though they're technically the favorite, because, you know, Patriots, man, they've just been too dominant in the past. So that's my team. And yeah, otherwise, enjoy yourselves. I will probably pick this back up on Tuesday night and Thursday afternoon, and then no weekend stream next week. So that's the plan. Anyway,